All right, guys, welcome back to Good Day Columbia, 6:37, and well, it was a disappointing week in Gamecock Nation, and I think it's safe to say, at least among most folks, even nationally, Garnet and Black were certainly favored to walk away from the weekend with a 2-0 record, but it wasn't to be. Even the boys at Leftover Hotdog predicted a different outcome. LJ Dragner, LeftoverHotdog.com. What happened, man? I mean, you're normally spot on, and you missed that one like a blind guy in a barn.
Right. Well, you can't win them all. You can't lose them all. You know, going to Athens is always a hostile place.
Right.
We haven't played well there. But Georgia's had a better game plan. They're back against the wall, losing against Clemson that first week, and they were ready to play. And, you know, I guess we had read our own headlines, and you know, just, the defense didn't show up. I mean, I don't know if it was game plan or, you know, we've talked about conditioning the first week. But
it was a very different game temperature-wise too. I mean, really, his first and second game was a whole different game.
Right. Yeah. And Todd Gurley, running back for Georgia, you know, 30 carries, you know, 139. He was good. He was good. Aaron Murray, you know, over 300 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. We just, on defense, we didn't look well. Offense, though, you know, we played well. Mike Davis had 149 yards, touchdown. Nick Jones showed up. You know, six catches for 97 yards and 2 touchdowns. And we looked good on offense. And I can see, you know, one loss isn't going to hurt us. We obviously know that Georgia, we've beat Georgia the last 3 years, and they still made it to Atlanta. So, you know, the season isn't over. You know, Gamecock Nation, you know, just calm down. It's one game. It's one game. We can, you know, move on, move forward.
It's funny, I was watching with a couple of friends, and it was 10-3. Georgia, and one of my buddies says, you know, if they're just about to drive, the final drive, about to score, and they said if they get 17-3, the game's over. Well, they got 17, but then turned back around, went to 10-17, then 17-17, they're back in, then 24-24, and then it just seemed like it from there it just crumbled.
Yeah, you know, and the ball didn't bounce Carolina's way. You know, just this, you know, like Bruce Ellington not seeing the ball in the sun. You know, the onside kick was, you know, a desperation move, but it happens. But yeah, and then, you know, 4th and 1 on the goal line and not getting it. I mean, it was just, you know, a combination of a lot of things that caused Carolina to lose. I mean, you know, it wasn't just one play or just not just the defense. You know, and you know, everybody talks about Clowney, but you know, through 2 games, his stats were the same as last year. You know, 6 tackles.
Yeah,
1
why are
sack.
they hammering on him so much that he, you know, hey, I guess he was a flash in the pan, but if his stats were exactly the same, if he was so great last year, is it because there's so much hype now and they're like, what happened?
You know, you know, you see it a lot of times in sports. You know, we build somebody up and then we, you know, beat them back down. You know, they don't perform. But you know, they say overhyped so much in the offseason that, you know, he couldn't come out there and have a hit like he did in Michigan game every game. Like, that's unrealistic to think that. But
and we almost set these young players up for failure because he's in his mind. He's now thinking, you know, he walks in. Now, granted, we understand from the coach, he's pretty humble and he's handling it well. But in the back of his head, when he wakes up, he's still going, man, I'm Clowney, what's up?
Right.
You know, and, you know, he's got to feel pretty bad. If he plays extremely well, because it's Clowney, but not to this superhero status.
Right.
I mean, that's got to play in his psyche, too.
But I think, you know, you have one good game, you come out there and have a couple sacks and, you know, 5 or 6 tackles. And
he's
just
a solid player. And
yeah, he's going to be consistent, but they run away from him. You know, they screen, you know, bring him in, but that's what they're going to game plan for. And it hasn't been like that in the past. And so, you know, and there's more attention. The camera's always on him. Like, so
yeah, he's got
you see everything that he does.
All right, LJ Dragner from LeftoverHotdog.com. We come back, we're going to take a look at tomorrow's game. Vandy, the Commodores in town. We'll take a sneak peek with the Leftover Hot Dog and get his prediction. Let's hope this week he's a little closer, though, right?
That's right. Let's hope so.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. It certainly was last week, Georgia. That's all right, though. Today is a new week. Tomorrow is a new game. LJ Dragner from the Gamecock Expertise blog, LeftoverHotdog.com, joins us again, taking a look forward to tomorrow. Let's just put Georgia behind us. Vandy's in town. The Commodores are here. And traditionally, USC's had a solid go against them, right?
Yeah, 18-4 all time against Vandy. You know, used to be able to say, well, it's just Vandy. But not anymore. I mean, they won 9 games last year, and James Franklin's got them going in the right direction. They've recruited well.
So they won 9 games. Now, we won, what, 11, right?
11, yeah. We won 11 the last 2 seasons.
Right.
But, you know, Vandy's improving. You're not the doormat of the SEC anymore. So,
right.
You know,
the doormat of the SEC.
Yeah, Kentucky's taking that spot. But, you know, Vandy's playing well. But, you know, they got some quality players. Jordan Matthews is a good wide receiver. He actually leads the SEC in receptions. He's averaging 8 a game. Austin Carter-Samuels is a good quarterback. They're gonna run the ball.
Who are the threats for USC, both offense and defense, that Steve has to worry about in his coaches?
Yeah, you know, Jordan Matthews, like I said, and Carter-Samuels a quarterback. But you know, for South Carolina, you know, getting the tight ends involved this week. running Mike Davis, you know, he's had back-to-back games over 100 yards. He's had 2 runs for over 75 yards.
Okay.
So.
Are we gonna see, based on Georgia obviously changing the strategy, at least defense strategy up, I think, a good bit after last week? Are we going to start seeing maybe some different faces, some people who maybe traditionally have not seen a lot of playing time?
Yeah, they're talking about playing Lorenz Bryant. He's a true freshman at the spur position. Getting Vic Hampton back. You know, he was banged up last week, and then he had a suspension for a team violation. But he'll be back. He practiced yesterday. But you know, guys just got to step up.
Sure. Now they've never scored more than, or at least the last 6 years, more than 21 points against Vandy. They've won, but they hasn't been by a huge victory.
Yeah, this is going for the 5th straight win over Vandy. But in the last 6 years, we haven't scored more than 21 points. It's been a defensive struggle. Last year's 17-13 that home or opening game of the season in Nashville.
Right.
Vandy's going to ugly it up. You know, they want to.
I mean, if they could,
you play ugly. I mean, they want you to, you know, not throw the ball deep. You know, they got good corners. They got good secondary. You know, they're going to contain you as well as possible. I
mean, in theory, if they do hold, if history's your guide, and they hold the Gamecocks at 21, and they have a solid offense, they actually could pull this one back out.
Yeah, you know, they've been averaging 36 points a game.
You're talking 4 touchdowns over a whole football.
Yeah, 450 yards a game. And Vandy's been moving the ball and playing well. That opening game against Ole Miss, you know, they looked good. And then last week against Austin Peay.
Who's going to be chucking the ball for us?
Connor Shaw's going to get the start, but they, you know, Spurs said yesterday that Dylan Thompson will play and will probably play a good bit. You know, that fumble against Georgia, you know, it's kind of the momentum swing that they needed to pull ahead. So I'm looking to see Dylan Thompson play some this week.
So what's the feel? I mean, we feeling good rolling into Vandy coming to town and Commodores tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm feeling real good. I'm going to say, you know, 28-13, I think.
28-13. That is the official LJ Dragner Leftover Hotdog pick. 28-13. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Tomorrow, Vandy's in town. The Commodores taking on USC, the Gamecocks, Steve Spurrier, and the boys. LeftoverHotdog.com is the blog. Talk about football, all USC sports, all things USC. LJ Dragner, thank you, my brother. We'll see you next week. Hopefully, you're going to be a little better. We'll have a party. We have a victory to celebrate tomorrow night in Gamecock Nation. Stick around, guys. We got a lot more Good Day Columbia on the way, including your tailgate.